Hey, what's up, guys? Shake Somebody here. Bafana played. Now let's have a conversation with one of the greatest captains the PSL's ever had. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Okay, guys, we have another great guest on Playing the Field with Chicks. I tell you something, this is one of the greatest PSL captains, in my opinion. I have to tell you, man, when you talk about leadership, this guy had it all. 7 stars, Hellenic, and as well as Super Sport United. And what can we say about those 3 league titles in a row? Ricardo Katza, how are you, sir?
Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, man, it's an absolute pleasure to have you, man. I mean, I have to wonder, like, how's life treating you after football, man?
That's a wide a wide question with so many answers. But I think if I can say right from the top, God has been good to me. I think I retired a year before I wanted to because I initially had another year left. So I wasn't prepared to retire in 2012. I thought I would retire in 2013. Other than that, I started coaching and scouting and all those things until 2018 when I moved away from Supersport. Went to Grey College in Bloemfontein as the director of football. And now in 2022, I moved back to Johannesburg as the head of sports at the King's College in Bryanston.
Amazing.
So
no, I mean that's amazing. But you dropped the gem there. Why did you retire before the year 2013? Then why did you retire in 2012?
Do you want the full story, or do you want you know what?
Let's go with the honest answer.
Yeah, I think I had an option here in my contract, and the club decided that they're not going to renew it, or they're not going to take it. I actually went to them. I said to them, "Look, I will take half of the money that's in the contract. Just give me the option here because it will make a 10-year service." And I ended up on 9 years on 222 games, and for the last season, I only played 30 minutes. So it was very difficult for me, very, very difficult. I couldn't watch football for a whole year. But yeah, they just stopped it. They said to me, no, the coach don't want you. So I just decided, you know what, let me just rather pack up. And, I knew I wanted to coach as well. So when I signed my last contract in 2010, I included a coaching course, an international coaching course into my contract. And in 2014, I ended up going to the UK to do an international coaching license. It was tough. It was really tough for me. I didn't speak much about it. I don't speak about people, but I think if you want loyalty, they say you must get a prick because even a dog will walk away from you.
No, the funny thing is, I mean, you play such a long time at Supersport. You obviously win the medals that you do win, and then obviously at the time you have Bongani Khumalo was coming into the fold, and Morgan Gold was playing as well. But you could have easily played for anyone else. That's how good I think you were. It didn't have to be Supersport. Were you not fancying going to another club, perhaps?
Look, at the time, I think my agent at the time was the same guy that was running the club, or there was an agency Forward Zone. I was managed by Forward Zone. So there was a lot of offers coming in for me, but I was never really told about it. I was always given an extension to like another year, to my original Supersport contract. And when I retired in 2012, I remember I got a call from one of another agent and said to me that, Golden Arrows wanted you. They offered you a 2-year contract, but I said to them, I don't know about it, and no one told me anything about it, and I've already retired. And remember what I said to you earlier, it was a very difficult time for me. So I just said to them, you know what, I've made a decision not to play anymore. So I think it was six months down the line already. So yeah, I didn't know about a lot of offers that came for me. I only found out when I was done playing that Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs, they all came for me. But yeah, I was never informed about it. But yeah, another story for another day.
Well, funny enough, I was actually that's actually one of my questions. I won't lie. That's one of my questions there. Is that you were one of the players that I look at, and I think I asked Lifa to look at the same question. I was like, they were so good that I was thinking, how come did they never ever get to play for one of the three biggest teams in the country.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your story in terms of like, it's crazy how a center back of your stature never actually represented the Chiefs prior to Sundowns. No disrespect to any other team, but there was a reason why you actually didn't represent one of those three teams.
Yeah, look, like I said, I just wanted to play football at the time. But a big lesson that I've learned, and probably if my son decides to play football, or one of the kids that I'm coaching at school, or the lesson that I've learned is that you can play for the love of the game, but there comes a time when you also need to make money. And I only played for the love of the game. I never made money. And I can be honest about that. When I was looking at guys that was that was playing at other clubs like Lucky, and the captains, those Jimmy Taus, those captains of those teams, we were in the same bracket, so to say. But my salary, I don't even want to get into that. I was paid way less than what I was supposed to get, and only when I retired, I actually realized that I was underpaid in so many ways. Look, I've God has been good to me. Like I said, I'm working now at a private school, but I'm earning more money, and there's more value onto my contract than that's ever been at the highest of my football career. So if you can think about the top of my career, what I'm earning now is it's not even close to what I was getting back in the days. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that I was earning hundreds and 200,000 a month. That wasn't the case. It wasn't even close. So that's why I say you play for the love of the game, but there comes a time when honestly you have to make money. And I think I just loved playing the game, not knowing that I could have also made money.
That's I can't believe that situation, because I look at your career, I look at the fact that you played so many games within the PSL, I look at the fact that you went to an AFCON, I look at the fact that you represented Bafana Bafana. I mean, you were playing consistently all the time, and you're telling me that you were not getting your values worth. Now, the next question I have to ask is, when you look back on your career, do we blame Ricardo Katza for not asking many questions, or do we blame the agent for not looking out for you, or do we blame, I don't know, I'm trying to figuring out that, like, how would have you done things differently, and who's that down to that you were not able to get what you were supposed to get?
I should have been better. I should have put my foot down. I don't want to blame the club. I don't want to blame the agent. I should have been better with myself, but because I don't think I had the mental capacity, or just the education around it, I think I've let myself down in that. And now, I don't think that I will make that mistake again. God has taken me many learning curves, and I don't think that I want to learn that lesson again. And I don't want to see that in my kids. I don't want to see that in the children that I'm teaching, and even the staff that I'm working with. I will always encourage them. I'll say, use the platform that you've been given to build yourself up, but there comes a time for you to make money, then go for the money. It was really, really difficult for me, because when I went for a trial in Cologne, I met Ernst. Ernst was there at the time. I don't know who he was coaching, but then in one of his interviews in the newspaper, he said that, I wanted Ricardo when I was at Chiefs. And that's the first time that I heard that he wanted me, that Chiefs wanted me. I also know that Sundowns wanted me, but it never happened. So I even had the opportunity to go to FC Cologne. I still have the contract on my phone. That's another story, crazy story. I was supposed to go for 2 weeks. The club went to Australia, and then they insisted that I go with as a captain. But I said to him, but I've got a 2-week trial. No, you must go with the club. And I ended up going. When I came back, there was 3 days left of the transfer window. So the club made me an offer, but I think the coach at the time, he already had someone else in mind. So I didn't sign the contract. But then again, I see the hand of God. When I came back, we won the league 3 times in a row at SuperSport. And I ended up being part of 6 of the cups that SuperSport has won. When I got to the club, they only had 1. When I left, they had 7. So that for me, I think God, on the one hand, when people were trying to hold things away from me, He blessed me on the other hand. If you look at the things that I have at home and what we have achieved as a family, I can really say that God's hand has been upon us. It's not football. Football hasn't made me who I am today. I do believe I knew it was always going to stop, but the way it stopped, I think that just killed me for the whole year. I couldn't watch football.
Wow. I hope I can ask this then. How's your relationship with Gavin Hunt then?
Look, it's a coach. You know, I remembered in 1998, he's the guy who gave me the first contract under Rob Moore at Seven Stars. When he got fired at Seven Stars, he moved to Hellenic, and then when I then went on to Cape Town Spurs, no, Cape Town Ajax. And then I was there for a year, and then I remember they told me they don't need me, and then Kevin signed me the next day on a 3-year contract, and then he got fired again, and then he went to Black Leopards. And then both him and I, in our 10th year, me as a player, him as a coach, we win the league in 2008 for Supersport. So when I retired, he was there. He was the coach at the time. There was a time as well in my last season, I only played 30 minutes. I think I had to play three more games. I would have had a club record. Somehow I was kept on the bench. I don't even remember there was a game against AmaZulu in Durban when Glenn Salmon was playing as a centre back. I was on the bench. I was super fit. I wasn't played. I don't know what the reasons was. Players used to come to me and ask me, "Hey, what's wrong? What's happening between you and the coach?" I never entertained anything. I just said, "Look, if my time comes, it will come." And yeah, my last season I played 30 minutes. Yeah, so it's tough. 9 years, 122 games, 30 minutes in the last season.
It seems like obviously you go back to the last season. You speak about the 30 minutes, and of course the coach being Gavin at the time and all that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out, did you ever get closure as to what happened within your last season? In fact, like instead, like you were super fit, but they're playing a striker at centre back, and you sort of ask yourself, how is that possible? Did you ever find that closure for that last season?
no, you know what, Sakes, on a personal matter, I found I'm 46 years old, and about 6 years ago, I found out something that was 40 years at the time. It was 40 years ago, and someone also said to me, do you want to go back and revisit that? I said no. I said God has moved me on. And the same, and that's why I wanted to make it that example. Even with that last year, I don't want closure. I think I have closure. I've made peace with myself. I don't want to go and revisit someone that's just going to tell me stories upon stories because I was fit. I was ready to play. I was doing my fitness test. I remember there was a bleep test that we did. I was the last one to. I was still running, and I remember when it was done, the guys were clapping for me, and yet I still couldn't make the team. And I don't want to revisit spaces like that because I don't think that. I think that door is closed. I've dealt with it. I've moved on. That was 2012. I mean, that's 12 years ago. I know I'm talking passionately about it, but Sakes, you're probably the first person that I actually have this conversation. I've never spoken to anyone about it. So
Wow.
that's why it sounds like I'm passionate about it. But it's something that happened. It's a big lesson that I've learned. Don't be faithful to the person. Be faithful to yourself. If you're going to be loyal to yourself. Do things that on the end of the day, that's going to benefit me and my family. And, I'm not a person that bears grudges. I greet Kevin when I see it's his birthday. I congratulate him on his birthday. When I see he's doing something good, I congratulate him like any other coach that I've worked with. So there's no bad blood between us. Especially from my side, there's nothing. I can still speak to him. If I see him in the street, I'll stop him. If he's on the other side of the road, I'll make my way across the road to go and greet him. So I don't have anything against anyone, and I don't want to have. I've moved on, and I enjoy the space that I'm in now.
No, man, I'm very happy to hear that. I really am. I am surprised because we're not talking about a fly-by-night player here. We're not talking about someone who just made, 20 appearances within the PSL. We're talking about someone who made, close to, like you said, 350, 400 games, and suddenly sort of this treatment is coming. I'm glad to see that you've come away from it. Are you watching football again now? Are you watching local football again now?
Yeah, so it's amazing amazing how God just brings people along your way. So I signed with Seven Stars in 1998, and when Rob Moore found out in 2012, 2013 that I retired, at the time he was in Spain, and then now he's in the UK. So 3 times he's offered me a job to be an agent. And I said to him, I think the first time I wasn't ready. I said to him, no. The second time I just signed a contract at Grey College. And the third time I just signed 3 years ago here at the school. And I said to him, look, it's not what I want to do, but I do love watching young kids. And then he said to me, okay, so then why don't you just scout for me and become a consultant and, and help me out. And I can proudly say that, I don't know if you know Steven Mendes, the boy, that under 17 player that played for Chiefs. He played for the national team as well. He's now playing for Hammarby in Sweden. So I scouted him when he was 14. I went to go watch one of the games. And and then 2 years later, we moved him to Europe on a 3-year contract, So I love watching under 13, under 14, under 17 games because when I was in the UK in 2022, they say they're already starting at 9 years old. They scout the best 20 kids at 9 years old. And when they get to 16, if you don't have a first team contract, then it's late. You're just going to be another player. So I've learned, I enjoy space. I go watch games. I was at the Tuskegee game on Sunday, Sundowns and Supersport in Dobsonville. So so I go and I watch games. I do enjoy watching youth football a lot, more than actually PSL.
I've always wanted to ask you these two questions. Is back in the day, you were a player that was playing for a team like Supersport, not necessarily one of the big three, and they were winning the league 3 times in a row in the way that you did it. I mean, now in today's time, we have Sundowns winning it 7 times in a row, and
Sure.
It seems as though like there's no other teams that can sort of break through as well. Why do you think we don't have any other winners from different clubs per se? Is it just simply down to money? Because back then Hellenic won it, back then Mini Rangers won it, back then you found a Supersport United that would win it 3 times in a row. Why are we finding that? Is it just down to money?
Yeah, look, again, if you look at a lot of our players that has gone overseas, they've come back, and where does everyone go? They go to Sundowns, or they go to teams, they go to clubs where we can get paid. So I also remember back in the time, and I said to my son yesterday, I said it was very difficult to get man of the match with the caliber of players that we had at the time. And I said to him, in my 350 plus games, I only got 2 men of the matches, and he laughed at me. And I said to him that the caliber of players that we played with at the time was aggressive, hardworking, and skillful. Now I feel like this is just my opinion that it's too easy to stay in South Africa, and some of our players they rest on a big salary and not even playing. Where I do think back in the days we would go to other clubs and we would play there. If I look at the '96 group, those players went overseas. They went to a lot of different countries that we don't even know about. Turkey, China. They went all over the place. And what do our players do? They go and they come back. So for me, Sundowns dominating. Yes, we can say it's money, but I've listened to Fleming speak about 2 weeks ago at the Business in Football conference, and he said that the way they work, it's not one person's decision. So now that took me back to 2012 when I was negotiating the 1 more year, and I realized if I had Fleming in the building with me, I would have probably signed another year, and if not another year, and because you would have looked at me as a footballer and not as just a business deal.
I see, and I understand that. With the time that I do have left, I've got 3 quick fire questions for you, man. Number 1 is the toughest striker you've played with. Quick answer. It doesn't have to be too long.
No, that's Nolis Masona.
Wow, amazing! Absolutely love that.
I'll tell you why. Because he wasn't just playing in front of you, he wasn't just playing next to you, he was playing in front, next, and in behind you, and he was very good. That made it difficult for us to mark him.
That's amazing. So Ricardo Katza could only have 1 centre back next to him. Is it either Bongani Khumalo or Morgan Gould?
Morgan Gould, anytime Morgan Gould.
Wow, he was quite strong himself, right?
Morgan Gould, Bongani could header the ball, Bongani could jump high, but Morgan could header, could tackle, could pass. I think he was probably the most complete player that I've ever played with at centre back. No disrespect to Bongani. We know he went on to play for Spurs and he went overseas. He scored in the World Cup. So a lot of disrespect to Mungani, but I do think that Morgan Gould, from all the players that I've played with, is probably the best.
Next one is would Ricardo Katza had more Bafana caps if he played for one of the big three clubs?
I think so. I do think so. I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I think so. I think so too. If it means anything, I think so too. And that was the last one from me, Ricardo Katza. I just want to take this time to say thank you for coming on and being a guest on my show. And also for us who love football for what it was and what you gave to the game, you leave memories for us. If we see you, we will jump across the street. We will take pictures with you. If we happen to see you, we're grateful to have a player who have played like you. And the fact that you left everything on the pitch as well. And I just want to take this time to say thank you for being a guest on my show. And I wish you all the best with the rest of your coaching career as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Seix, for having me on the show. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I hope I didn't speak bad about anyone. I was just speaking what's on my heart. You know, I've been keeping it in for years now. I'm not angry at anyone. I do believe that it's a part of my life that's behind me. I'm happily married with my wife, Adelaide. I've got 3 kids. You know, I'm working at a school at the King's College in Bryanston. You know, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm in a good space. I love football as well. However, I think with the space that I'm in now, that's where I want to be. I get to be in a school where my 3 kids are. So I'm quite excited about that, you know, so we are quite happy about that. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really do appreciate it.
Now, always a pleasure, Ricardo Katza, and I guess I'll always be here if you ever need to have a confession session again.
I'll keep that. I'll make a note of that.
Keep well, man.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day.
Placing the right bets on the right games. Win big with Shakes from Rampedi on Bet of the Week. Guys, club football is finally back and I am so happy. Like, this means international break is done, guys. We are over with it for the rest of the year. Let's start off with the games for this weekend. Bournemouth going up against Brighton. I've gotten both teams to score. Arsenal going up against Nottingham Forest. I'm so confident that it's going to be Arsenal and over 1.5. Fulham going up against Wolves. I've gone over 2.5. Man City against Tottenham. Man City straight win. Napoli against Roma, the final game, and I've gone with Napoli straight win. The odds are 11.03. Those odds are amazing. And as you can see on your screen, there's the betting code. But I'm sure you want to win. You want to win with me. So you gotta use the betting code below in the description. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. We've come to the end of the show, but as I mentioned earlier, guys, no international football for the rest of the year. And to make it even better, there's no international football until March. So that means, guys, we've got a couple of months to go of club football. Arsenal, Kaizer Chiefs, get your acts together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.
Hey, Tawala.
All right, here we go.
Ko betweng ba tshepela hore o tshwantse o betjhe ka tsela e nepahetseng.
Ka nako e nngwe o tlamehile hore o ikhule hanyane.
Ka nako tse ding o ska leka go busha tse di lahlegeleng.
Nakusasa kuse olunye kusuku.
Dlala ngokusemandleni wakho.
Ge o tlhoka thuso ka gona.
Awuhambi wedwa.
Hopola, bet responsibly.